listen, I know, okay? I know that the lighting is yellowish. I know that it's a bit echoey in here. You're gonna need to cut me a little bit of a break. I've had an awful week. Literally, this week has been sent from hell. I don't know what I did. I don't know who I pissed off, but this week has just been one of the worst weeks I've experienced in a really long time. I've only been back like on campus for, again, this 1 week, and I have had terrible vertigo. I've had pink eye in this eye. You can't really tell now because thankfully all the swelling has gone down and like it's not really pink anymore. If you look up close, you can tell that it's still like a little but for the most part we're okay on that front now, but that took a while to like get sorted out. My glasses broke. Well, like I lost the screw came out of the side of my glasses. Oh, and I had 3 bloody noses. So if you want to say something about like the aesthetics or the acoustics of this video, please just don't. Again, just like, please cut me a little bit of a break. Hello friends, what's up? It's Jaime here. Welcome back to another Fangirl Fridays video. Since Valentine's Day is coming up, I knew that I wanted to do at least one like romantic themed Fangirl Fridays video. So today I'm gonna be talking about one of my favorite movies from 2023, Red, White, and Royal Blue. I really did not expect to love this movie as much as I did, but what I was thinking about like recently, like when I was like trying to think of like what my like top 5 favorite movies are, like this made the list. Like it was just like it's so good. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. Let's talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue. Before I begin, I want to make it very clear that for this video I am solely talking about Red, White, and Royal Blue the movie, not the media that it was adapted from, because there is currently a marketing boycott against St. Martin's Press Books due to their failure to address the Islamophobia and anti-Palestinian racism exhibited by one of their employees. I'll have more information about the boycott linked down below, but anyway, back to the movie. Like I said before, Red, White, and Royal Blue is a movie that came out in 2023, and it tells the love story between fictional first son of the United States, Alex Claremont Diaz, and fictional Prince of Britain, Prince Henry. It's this rivals to friends to lovers love story, and it's very, very cute. Also, I'm very aware that my glasses keep fucking tilting like this because like I've used tape to keep them together, but they keep sliding because they're not properly aligned. I did actually get, I got from CVS like a glasses like repair kit that I'm gonna try to use after I finish making this video. So that should be fun. But yeah, so sorry, you're just gonna have to deal with the slanting. Now, Red, White, and Royal Blue wasn't really on like my radar of things that I wanted to watch. Like I was aware that it was happening. I was aware that it was a movie that was getting made and that it was coming out, but I didn't really feel like any sense of like, ooh, I should watch that. It's mainly honestly because I'm not really a movie person. I've said this before on the channel, and I know that it's quite blasphemous of me as a screenwriting major to not really be a movie person, but it's the truth. I'm just not really a movie person. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I'd also heard like that people in the queer community were kind of like clowning on the trailer, saying that Taylor Zakar Perez and Nicholas Galitzine had like no chemistry and that it was awkward. So that also kind of like, I was like, okay, I guess like I'm not gonna watch this then. Now, I've never actually watched the trailer for this movie, but after watching the actual movie in its entirety, I feel like what I was just talking about before was really more of a case of maybe just a poorly made, poorly edited trailer or something like that. Because again, after watching the movie, in my opinion, I feel like Nicholas and Taylor like absolutely killed it as Henry and Alex respectively. Like throughout the entire movie, these two had me giggling and squealing and kicking my feet. Oh my god. They made me laugh, they made me cry so much, so many times. but it was so worth it. Side note, I absolutely love watching like interviews and like behind the scenes and blooper clips of Nicholas and Taylor because they just bring me so much serotonin. My personal favorite compilation is Taylor Zakar Perez and Nicholas Galitzine being a meme. That video brings me so much joy. I watched it so many times last semester because I was struggling mentally and emotionally and I just needed a little pick me up, and it's just such a nice little like happiness booster. It's a really good video. You should go watch it. But going back to Nick and Taylor's casting, I'm very aware that there's always this like general kind of like skepticism / kind of apprehension when it comes to casting straight actors to play queer roles. I'm working on a queer baiting video, so I'll talk more about this then. But personally, and now this is just my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt, I don't really take that much issue with casting straight or seemingly straight actors in queer roles as long as they're not like playing a queer character in a way where it's like it becomes like a caricature of like queer people or it's like very offensive. I'm generally usually like I'm okay with it because one, there isn't one like singular way to act gay, and two, there are plenty of actors who played queer characters who just weren't publicly out at the time of filming, whether that means them being out to the world or even just being out to themselves. And as a quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to like speculate about Nick or Taylor's sexualities because that's not my business, that's not anyone's business. I'm just speaking very generally. But so it's just my opinion that I feel like, you know, if we say that only like publicly out queer actors should get to play queer roles, I fear that that comes at the risk of excluding members of our own community who aren't publicly out for whatever reason, or that they just haven't realized that they are queer themselves yet. It's a bit of a complicated situation. I understand that people may have different takes on this, but again, personally, I just feel like I would rather allow straight actors to play queer roles so not to exclude members of our community, because we shouldn't have to like, queer actors shouldn't have to out themselves before they are ready to be out, like just so that they can get a job that they want. You know what I mean? Like that's weird. Don't you think that's weird? At least I feel like that's weird. And they shouldn't be harassed to like be out, like again, if they are not ready for whatever reason, and any reason is a good reason. Now, I'm specifically talking about like straight actors in queer roles. When it comes to like cis actors playing trans roles, that I'm more inclined to be like, maybe let's not do that. Maybe that should not happen. I mean, I'm queer, but I'm not trans, so I don't have really any authority to kind of speak on that issue specifically. If any trans folk in the comments want to chime in, please do. All that to say that obviously I think that there are plenty of publicly queer actors who would have absolutely killed it in these roles, but I still think that Taylor and Nick did like really incredible job. Again, like if you watch Nick and Taylor in an interview together, you can just see that like their chemistry is off the charts. Like they clearly seem to be like very good friends. They make each other laugh, they get on each other's nerves, and that's just the way they just interact is so Alex and Henry, and I love it. I thought that their acting was really, really good. And considering that this is my first time watching Nicholas or Taylor in anything, because I've never seen any of the Kissing Booth movies, I have no desire to watch any Wattpad adaptations, I'm sorry. And I've never seen the Camila Cabello Cinderella, just because no interest in that. And I've also never watched Purple Hearts because bleh, yuck, ugh, bleh, ugh, oh, ugh. Ugh. If you don't know what I'm referring to when I have such a visceral reaction to Purple Hearts, all I will say is that if I wanted to see a fucking Republican man and liberal girl, like, be in a relationship, I would just stalk people I went to high school with. And that's all I will say about that. Though I do want to shout out Kenny JD. You probably know at this point because I've mentioned her a couple times in videos. She's one of my favorite YouTubers. She's absolutely hilarious and incredible. She's made some really good videos on all the Kissing Booth movies and on Purple Hearts, so if you want more context on why I absolutely despise that movie in particular, definitely go watch those videos. They're just incredibly entertaining, hilarious, amazing. And it was actually Kendall's video on Red, White, and Royal Blue that made me want to watch this movie in the first place. Like, she was the one who sold me on how just like cute and silly this movie is. Listen, is this movie a cinematic masterpiece? No, I can admit that. But it's really fun. It's so much fun. But it's corny and it's cheesy and it's so gay and it's just, it's a really good time. I really enjoyed it. So I want to share with you some of like my top like favorite moments from this movie. This movie has so many good moments. So it was very hard for me to narrow this down. I was originally gonna do like a top 10, but I think this ended up being kind of like a top 11, because it was so hard for me to make this list. But yeah. So these are my favorite moments from Red, White, and Royal Blue. We've got funny moments, we've got swoon-worthy moments, we've got tear-jerkers, and these are also like, they're kind of in order, but also not really in particular order, but let's just get into them. I'm realizing that I probably should have lowered down the tripod a little bit throughout this video, but oops, it's okay. It's too late now. But this first moment is, it's when Alex and Henry are essentially sexting each other over email, which, by the way, terrible idea, but so hilarious in the moment. I'm not gonna say like the full email because otherwise, no, I can't say all that on camera. You'll just have to go watch the movie. But it's the one where Alex is talking about his bulge. Oh my god. That shit had me crying, like actually cry laughing. Okay, the second moment is when they're making out in the red room and then they get caught by Alex's Secret Service lady and she's just like, oh, wow. Interesting. Interesting. Oh my gosh. And then they try to act casual, but they're doing such a terrible job at it. Oh, that's just so fucking funny. I could just imagine that the Secret Service lady, that she went back to the other Secret Service people and she was like, y'all are not gonna believe what I have witnessed. Oh my gosh, the gossip must be fucking crazy. That shit, oh wow. Oh my gosh, I can just imagine it is probably so, like, they have so much tea. Okay, the third moment, keeping in a bit of this theme of Alex and Henry getting caught, is when Zara finds Henry in Alex's hotel room. Oh my gosh, that whole scene. I mean, Zara, she's a queen. I love Zara. We stand Zara in this household. That whole thing, oh my gosh. So she's like, I'm gonna fucking Brexit your head from your body. Go, you get your ass back to London right now. Oh my god, that shit was so funny. That's what a good fucking scene, man. Okay, the fourth moment is when they're in that like cafe place or like whatever, and they're talking, Alex and Henry, they're talking about like their full names, and Henry gives his full name, which is many names. He's a man of many names. And Alex is like, and I thought Alexander Gabriel Claremont Diaz was a mouthful, and Henry, without missing a beat, he looks at him and he's like, he is. Yo, oh my god, that shit had me dying. I was literally, my jaw was on the floor. Oh my god, I was completely I was blushing, I was laughing, like, oh my god, that scene. Oh, oh my god. Okay, the fifth moment is when they're by the piano and Henry's talking about Alex's speech and he's like, it made me very proud to be your boyfriend. And Alex is like, I'm always proud to be your boyfriend. Oh my god. It just made my heart go, ah. I was like, oh, my boys. Okay, what number are we on now? I think we're on 6. I'm pretty sure we're on 6. But this one is, oh my gosh, I can't remember like the full context for this one for some reason. But it's like one of the times when they're in a hotel and they're about to hook up and they're like taking their clothes off, they're making out, like whatever, and they start giggling. And I don't know what it is about them giggling that just made my heart swell. I was just like, the joy that was like oozing from them just made my heart melt. And I don't know. I was like, this is just, it's so sweet. Okay, number 7. I had to, of course, include like their like proper love scene. It was beautiful. I cried so much watching it. I was just like, oh my god, I just want them to be happy. And I was just like, oh my god. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was very steamy too, but like, there's just something, especially about like the music that was playing, that just was like, like, it was just so heartfelt, and you could just feel the love. Okay, number 8, I love this moment. It's when, whatchamacallit, the first time that Henry goes to Alex's like hotel room when they're first, starting to kind of sneak around and see each other hooking up and shit. And whatchamacallit, and Henry's like to Alex is like, I can't afford to have you fall in love with me. Oh my god. And it's just like, I love that moment because Henry was not trying to be a dick. Like, he meant it in like such a literal sense, but he just sounded like such an asshole that it was so funny. And I love them. I love their little banter afterwards. Like, it was so good. All right, number 9. This is such an iconic moment from this movie. It's when Alex, he bursts in through the rain to come see Henry and declare his love for him. Oh my god, that scene, it's so good. I cried so much. It's just, I love like that just that whole scene. My particular favorite line, I'm gonna butcher this a little bit, but it's when Alex says to Henry, it's like, like, you can stay in here in this castle and protect your heart and nothing will ever happen to you. But Henry, nothing will ever happen to you. Like, if you stayed here. And, ow, I just heard, I hit myself a little too hard. But it really got me. It really tugged on my heartstrings. Okay, number 10. This is such a silly little, like, inconsequential moment, but it's genuinely like one of my absolute favorites. That's why it's like one of the later ones I've mentioned, like one of my favorite moments from this movie. It's like at the end of Alex and Henry's little like press tour, like whatever thing that they had to do to be like, look, we're friends thing after the whole cake incident at the wedding. And Alex is like, you're invited to my New Year's party. And Henry's like, no, I don't do New Year's. I don't like New Year's. And Alex is like, oh, most people would kill to get an invite to my party. And Henry's like, great. So if you kill me, I don't have to go. That line, that's one of my favorite things that Henry says throughout the whole movie. I love that line. It's so dumb and I love it so much. And then number 11, my absolute favorite. Again, this was originally supposed to be kind of like a top 10, but I couldn't pare down this list, and it's my video and I'm gonna do what I want. But so number 11, my absolute favorite moment from this movie is when they're dancing together in the museum and the Can't Help Falling in Love is playing in the background. Oh my gosh, I love that like detail for that scene, because the fact that like Alex, he was ready, like when Henry's like telling him like, you know, like I always like dreamed of bringing the person that I loved here and that we would dance in this museum, and he's like, oh, it's just a silly little fantasy. And Alex, he was ready, he had that shit fucking he like queued up the fucking Can't Help Falling in Love. Oh, he was so ready. And then they start dancing, and then the whole spiel that Henry gives is like, when they write about me in history, I want you to be there too. Oh my god. My boys. I love them so much. I was just like, oh my god. I want them to be so happy. I want them to have all the happiness in the world. But yeah, those are my favorite moments. As you can probably tell, I really like this movie. I love it so much. Again, it's very corny and cheesy, but it's just it'll make you feel all the feelings. Like, it's just it's so sweet. It's so sweet. And I mean, like, particularly the love story stuff, I did not care about any of like the campaign US presidential stuff, because I'm like, there is nothing, I'm sorry, as much as I enjoyed this movie, and clearly you can tell that I really love this movie, there's nothing that this movie could have done to make me be like, oh yay, the US government, because no, fuck. Fuck the US government. But the love story is really cute, so if you just kind of like, I mean, obviously, it's kind of an integral part of the movie, but you can kind of skip those scenes if you want to. No one says you have to watch those scenes. Also, while we're at it, fuck the fuck the royal family too. I mean, honestly, this movie doesn't really paint them in the best light. Anyway, like, it's like, fuck Henry's brother. The grandfather is like, eh. The only like likable person in the royal family in this movie besides Henry is his sister B. But yeah, so while we're at it, fuck the US government and fuck the royal family. All right, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comments if there are any shows or movies that you would like to recommend, especially if they are queer. I'm always looking for new things to watch. Also, if you've seen Red, White, and Royal Blue, let me know down below what your favorite moments were, who your favorite character was. I would love to know. Once again, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, genuinely, because I know that the quality of this video, like the general quality, is not the greatest. So if you've made it this far, I really do thank you for watching it. Again, it's been a week. It's been such a week. So please cut me a little bit of slack. Please be nice to me. What's my outro? I upload Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, except when I don't. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.